G'day, Rick. How are you, buddy?
Good, Jace. How you going? How are you?
Good. Now, mate, welcome to Chapter 2. So we should change that appropriately. Chapter 2 breakdown of Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. And tonight we're going to be doing Chapter 2, Age of Heroes.
Yes.
So, obviously the first chapter, which you can see on our channel. We'll be doing this each week, correct, Rick?
That is correct.
You can check that out, what we thought of Chapter 1, but we're going to get straight into it here. We're going to start to talk about Age of Heroes. And basically, straight away, we go straight to Chernobyl. Chernobyl, of all places. Now, when I did see that, Rick, in the episode, well, in the movie, not episode, it took me straight to the original Justice League, and I'm going, oh no, not that Russian family.
Yes,
which was the worst thing about that original. Was that dumb Russian family living in Chernobyl where there's radiation.
Why is there a family living there? But
we don't get that. No, we don't start to set up the base. So we're seeing Steppenwolf at this stage and the parademons to establish a base, which is clever because the reason they're establishing like a temple or communication device, a base, is because all the radiation. It's closer to their kind of environment, which is kind of really cool. So I love the shell. We actually get to see that too, later on. But I love the metal shard that they have. It's like a big metal column that's kind of broken. And that's what he puts the mother boxes into. Love that thing. Love that thing. I'll talk about that a bit later. But
yes,
it's great. This chapter, Chapter 2, Rick, I think you agree. It moves at a pace.
It honestly, does. It does.
There are some bits they could have cut out, but generally there's a lot happening in this Chapter 2 of Justice League. Yeah.
I think what are your thoughts? This chapter for me really is it's setting up that whole visually. It's spectacular because there's obviously, and we'll talk about it in this chapter. There is actually a massive scene in here, and it reminds me of Endgame versus Lord of the Rings type, all mixed into one. It's just epic. So and it kind of like sets you up, and you think, wow, this movie is going to be good. Like you just know, and you're looking into it. So very, very cool chapter.
So basically in that first little bit where we're at Chernobyl and we're getting we get to see that little temple with the parademons. You can just feel already with the villain with Steppenwolf, there's purpose there, Yeah. It's so much of an improvement on the and I don't want this show to turn into we're bagging the old Justice League, but I just got to point that out. It's just great to have a villain that has a bit more substance, But we move pretty quickly into Cyborg's pseudo introduction.
We get a little bit.
Just a little bit, we get to see. Well, he only says that one line about all about making monsters. So you can feel that there's anger there. Well, we also get to see that mother box. Yeah. Yeah. So, but really, that the whole bit is we're following his old man.
Yeah,
his dad as we go to that thing. And you know what bothers me about that scene? It's the guy mopping the grates.
Oh yeah, do we need to mop grates? Why is he mopping
that shit down?
Just Salad of the family, and he just says nothing, and then he's just mopping the grate.
He's mopping the grate, and it didn't even look like it was easy. It looked like I'm like, you poor bugger. But there you go. Man. But it does move from environment to environment really quickly this episode, because we move straight to that next scene with the big arrow. The big badass arrow, Rick.
The arrow.
That seems to go thousands of kilometers and miles and etc. And lands right in Athens.
Where it needs to land.
Needs to land to let Wonder Woman know.
And she's the only one who knows why there's that fire.
Yeah.
Why that is burning.
Honestly, I mean, it's a long scene. And the whole time you're thinking, well, if you just got a really good phone deal, You'd probably get the new iPhone 11 at a pretty cheap rate.
Yeah, the Amazonians.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
But it is a long scene, though.
It is a long scene. You can see that was probably a scene that you could have cut tighter. And I do feel there's a couple of parts in this chapter where you could have tightened some things up. One scene, especially when I get to it. But yeah, overall, I'm not bagging that scene. Well,
no.
What I am going to have a go at that, Rick, is the lack of good security at the Athens Memorial. As Wonder Woman just strolls on in there.
Well, she's part of the museum, so she could be there as a advisor of you know.
Well, I had a mic here. I would drop it because that's a very good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah,
I was like, "What kind of crap security is that?"
She just rolls in, but
yeah. That's it. But it's good because we go downstairs and we get to see in glyphs. Yeah, a whole heap of kind of ancient glyphs, story of, and the outline of Darkseid.
Yeah, and the mother boxes. And
that's her discovery moment, really, isn't it? That's the moment where she not only discovers, Darkseid, but like you said, the mother boxes. And, it's probably a good point, Rick. What are mother boxes? For most of us, we already know it because we've got a bit of a comic book background and all that. But what is a mother box? So we're going to go and leaned over to here. And I've gone to fandom there, and this is obviously a mother box. And as Cyborg puts it, they're change machines. The boxes don't think in terms of healing or killing, alive or dead. They rearrange matter at the will of their masters, regenerate, reinstate. So basically, it's a magic box that can reassemble matter from nothing. They said a really good analogy that it was. If a house burnt down, there'd be smoke, but it would turn the smoke back into a house. The other, it's called a mother box. It's like I said, they've also called it a change engine. It is apocalyptic origin, so it comes from where Darkseid comes from.
Yeah.
And obviously it goes on here. The three mother boxes present on Earth alongside Darkseid. During his attempted invasion, which is the scene you're talking about, Rick.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't go through it the whole thing because it's probably pointless.
But there's three of them, guys. There's three of them in this.
There is three of them. There was three of them. What each one represents, I don't really have anything clear about that. But nevertheless, it's. But
they have to be combined together.
All three mother boxes, when they merge together, they become the Unity. And with the Unity, that's where Darkseid can obviously do some damage. So, but, they're just a MacGuffin, Rick. It's what they call a MacGuffin in the industry. It's just an object that drives the story or makes the plot move in a certain way. So, but still, cool concept. Cool. And it does remind me of the Tesseract a little bit, but that's what it is, So moving on, Ricky, we move over to where was I? This is the scene I have a big issue with. Now we get the perfect storm scene where the guy's on the boat, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's just about to crash. Aquaman comes in and saves him, right? Yeah, comes in, saves the day, brings him into that room, takes the half a bottle of whiskey, blah blah blah. The overuse of slow-mo. Like, I love slow-mo, and I think this film 9 times out of 10 can justify it. But I did have a slight issue with it. Because the whole thing is just really him walking out of that bar and walking down to the end of the jetty with the water crashing on him. And I think it's almost a minute-long scene. It's got a cool song. But, that would be one thing I'd be going, I think we could trim that just a little bit.
And then he just takes his shirt off and... Just that.
I got a question. How did he even get the shirt then? Do they have like a Lowe's or a Kmart down in Atlanta or like Atlantis? Like
that might. That might. Bargains galore.
We kind of follow him though. We follow him underwater the first time we do. We see that in the
because William Dafoe.
William Dafoe, which is it Volko or Volca? I think it's Volko. And he's there kind of setting up Aquaman, wasn't it?
Yeah. With his luscious locks.
Which is all tightened back in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will notice there are choices about Atlantis and the Atlanteans in this film that are totally dismissed when it comes to the Aquaman movie. Because remember, this film was originally supposed to appear before Aquaman. So, it's a bit different, but it sets up the fact that Arthur Curry's not taking his birthright, or doesn't want to really take on the mantle. No. So it just sets up that scene better than I think it had been done previously. So I thought it was really good. But again, I've got to talk about this metal shard, because what happens straight after that is we go straight back to where we see Steppenwolf communicate with the Offsider, who I can't remember his name.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, the guy that comes through with the hood. Yeah. How cool does that look?
That looks awesome. That's just the first
liquid
thing. And it's like
metal, lava and
falling
stuff
off him.
Oh my God, how cool is that, you know? And not only does it look cool, it's an important scene because it breaks down the fact that we get to know a bit more what's going on with Steppenwolf, you know? We get to establish that Steppenwolf was once heralded, but was selfish, did something really dumb, and now was in the debt of dark.
You got people killed or something, or so, I don't know, the way they explain it. Through it.
For me, it was more like, your pride brought you down or something like that.
Mm.
So, essentially, it was good because it did establish that he's trapped in this cycle of just going to, 50,000 worlds or 100,000 worlds at this point. Just conquering worlds to pay back a debt to Darkseid. So, and again, how much more depth is that? Do we get for that character rather than mother? Which is
I know
really
you love that in the original.
Oh, no. Again, we're turning into an old Justice League bashing show, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But, no. But he's an interesting character, Rick. I mean, if we have a look here, General Steppenwolf was a powerful new god and the herald of Darkseid, his nephew and lord of Apocalypse. After betraying Darkseid to their enemies, there you go, Steppenwolf was exiled and tasked with conquering 150,000 worlds in Darkseid's name. That's pretty crazy, isn't it?
There you go.
There you go. You get to see you know, and they are pretty. I mean, that comes from the comic book, the DC Extended Universe fandom Wikipedia site. So, it's great to actually have a character with some sort of plot and detail, you know. So,
hang on, Jace, we got a comment from our mate Diego.
Yeah, exactly, Diego. 100%. It was great to see a decent backstory for Steppenwolf. Kept you engaged. That was the thing. It kept you engaged. So, but moving on from that, which was a great scene with the backstory with Steppenwolf. I just love that as an exposition scene. I really want to get to this, Rick, and that is
the epic scene.
Well, before we get there, Diana, we should mention the scene that Diana, who can casually stroll her way through millions of dollars of security to meet Bruce Wayne without a problem.
Yes, she did that within seconds. Yes.
Bruce but, that's the first time we established the point that Bruce Wayne now knows, as well as Wonder Woman, Diana, that, the war is here, that Steppenwolf is here.
But he doesn't know who. He doesn't know who. He says it's coming. She says it's already here.
Yeah. She knows by the flame, so pretty crazy. But no, let's get straight to the great scene. I'm calling it the great scene. And we see, like you say, that it was a very good description there, Rick. A Lord of the Ring meets
versus
Endgame. It's just something massive on scale, you know.
Huge.
You know, we're getting the old gods, men, Atlanteans, Amazonians, Guardians from the sky, all joining together to battle
the Lanterns. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. The Guardians from the sky. That's how they refer to them. But the Lanterns, yes. But that's a young Darkseid. He's coming in full throttle. This
is the first time we see him.
Yes.
This is the first time he makes.
Yeah, we get to see. What a battle! I mean, Me, Zeus. Seeing Zeus with the lightning.
Oh yeah, he does that.
Taking dudes down. Like how powerful that. I love that. I love that. I just love the whole scene. It looked really great. It was spectacular. I think it was you could have, it's done with a voiceover over the top. We get to Diana's kind of explaining it, but still I think it works really, really well. And which I love is the combo move from Zeus. Well, before that, the Green Lantern. He has a battle with the Green Lantern and cuts his hand off. Remember that? And then the ring goes Darkseid's trying to grab it. Absolutely love that. Did you have any little bits from that scene that you loved?
Oh, no. But it was good. Like, visually, it was just phenomenal, like I was saying.
Yeah.
But I love, like, and you were saying, but they used the whole slow-mo in this side. And there's a couple of fights that they use the slow-mo on, and it
which worked well in the fight scenes.
It does. It worked really, really well. And you had the Amazonians still just flinging the air. And then they had that last scene as I don't know, this arrow must have been charged up with something, and then she just flung it up and it blew the ship out of the sky at the end.
I love the that combo move with Zeus. Does like that, shoots lightning at Darkseid, and then I think it's a man who just comes with a giant battle axe. Cops Darkseid right in the shoulder, which was awesome. He has to get dragged away from parademons, mate. They were like, and as Diana says, that was the first time in any world that they fought back and turned them away. But yeah, I mean, he must have. The thing I haven't been able to work out is that does he forget that's where the planet where the anti-life equation was? Because we talk about that later in, right? But when he hits the hammer, when he exposes the anti-life equation.
That's it. And then it just does that.
So for me, now I'm thinking, and someone hopefully out there has got the answer for me, is why did it take him so long to come back? Or was he fearful? You know what I mean? Maybe.
Reunite. Or maybe he knew it was on Earth, but he didn't know exactly where.
Well, we know Steppenwolf turns around at some point and goes, there's no lanterns, no Kryptonian.
Which
so maybe, but there hasn't been a Kryptonian on the planet that whole time. He's only recent. And I don't know about the lantern deal, but it's interesting. Oh, okay, yep. Here we go. Diego's just got popped in again. I think Ari's used the axe to hurt Darkseid. Yep, you're right, mate. Yeah, get on. Thanks for that.
Brother.
The brother. So cool, those gods, man. The old gods. I want to see a movie with Zeus and all that, which is so cool. So it's a pretty, like I said, the Lord of the Rings type. I mean, it's just they pull the camera back so far, and it's just like the screen is just brimming with characters.
Everyone fighting and just chaos everywhere. It's just awesome. And that last scene where you see when they got that demon, which is still kind of half alive on the ground, and then they just gets the Triton and stabs it through him. Just awesome.
Yes.
Love it. And you're just like, we have just kicked ass. So very cool.
It was just a one of the great things, and it's a shame when you kind of look back at, because you can't help but compare Rick to the thing that you've seen previously.
It just goes. It happens.
And context is everything, I believe, Rick. And that scene had context.
Yeah.
The stakes were raised. They were on screen for us. We understood now how serious the situation this was. Well, I felt the first time I said that scene, I just went, oh yeah, that's kind of cool looking. But I didn't feel the emotional attachment to that scene that I did this time around.
Yeah, that's right.
So, there's some things that should be trimmed, and there were some things that were justified to be as long as they were. And this certainly was a justifiable, scene to have in its whole entire glory. I absolutely adored it, And it's interesting because in many ways, even this entire chapter is still an introductory kind of aspect to the movie. We're still in the first act.
That's right. We still haven't seen the whole thing. Right. There's only little things here and there, but
Well, if you think about like classic movie structure, Rick, you have 3 acts, right? First act is you introduce all your characters. The second act, you put them in the worst possible position. Third act, to get them out of it. That's basic movie structure. Now, if you think about Justice League, which has 6 chapters, so the first 2 chapters, we are at the end of Act 1 now.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there you go. That's where we're at. So what a great little chapter. I mean, really, the movies at this point really kicked into gear, because by the end of that battle, that's the end of the chapter.
Oh, yeah. Then they explain where the mother boxes go, and then each place hides them away from everyone.
Oh, you're talking about, one of the exposition
just before.
scenes.
Yeah.
And you're right. That's probably I left that out. It is a massively plot-driven scene, and it is explaining in logic what they are. So you get to understand what the function of the mother boxes, why it becomes the Unity, and then what the Unity does.
And where they've gone. That's right.
So it terraforms the planet to be what the enemy's homeworld is like.
And then
which, at that point, I'm like, why would you want somewhere nicer? If that's what you're doing, terraforming to your homeworld, have higher standards, buddy. Maybe leave a beach there, a few trees around, you know what I mean? You're just turning into a dust bowl.
Why?
How good a place could that be possibly,
But I mean, what do you think of Darkseid when you first saw him come out of that ship? Like,
I thought it was great. I mean, I did. I've got to be honest with you. Nothing will ever grab me now as much as Thanos did, his introduction in Infinity War. So, and when I look at that character, he looks cool. But yeah, I feel like Thanos was first. I've had that experience. If you know what I'm trying to say.
I know.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I loved it, and Darkseid as a character, like, he is a force to be reckoned with in the DC. He was created.
He is. I mean, really, there's so much. I mean, he is a great character. I'm just saying, as a
as introduction,
great.
Yeah.
But I was more kind of taken with Thanos. I mean, I shouldn't be comparing like that, but that's just the reality of how I felt. So.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But like I said, he's been around for a long time. And Jack Kirby created Darkseid in the 70s when he moved from Marvel to DC. So, just great character.
That was part of his New Gods, and Darkseid definitely one of them. Man, he's the big bad of that universe. There's no doubt.
He is, yeah.
And obviously, as we get through the other episodes and the next chapters and next chapter and everything else,
we'll explore more about him.
We will absolutely. All I can say is anti-life equation, Omega beams. There's lots of really cool stuff coming from Darkseid.
We got another comment from Diego. Do you guys think the mother boxes are some kind of equivalent to Marvels?
Rick, what do you think, buddy?
Do we? Possibly. It's a good question. But no, I wouldn't agree with it.
I'm going to be a little bit more. I don't know. I'll tell you why I don't know, because what is the comparison you're making? Why do you think it is an equivalent? If you can give me an example, that might help me, because I'm trying to put those two together at this point. I can't figure out why. What I liked about Darkseid is I felt scared when he first. Oh, yes, 100%.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know if I felt scared, but that's the intent.
He felt scared, but he was, I mean, he looked, scary, and coming down, grabbing that ground and pulling it off. I don't know. Kind of,
Yeah.
Fair enough. No, that's right.
Fantastic. Cool. Now, okay, look, we're going to hear from Jared. How are you, buddy? Are we going to see Godzilla versus Kong? I'm not, Jared. Sorry, buddy. It's not my thing. I don't want to say it. Sorry, dude. But Rick's going. You're going, aren't you, buddy?
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go check out. Yeah. Just what else we're going to see? Two massive beasts going for it on stage. Why not?
Are you going to a movie or a set?
I'm a massive Kong fan, so
We'll see. With the movies, that's the other thing. Is I actually didn't really like any of the movies at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe Kong Skull Island, but yeah.
See, that was good, but yeah. But anyway.
Oh, you are tempting me by saying you're buying popcorn because popcorn costs about $35 for a small cup. Like War of the Worlds, except it only took Tom Cruise to win. Jesus.
And he's got
and here's something more appropriate to our discussion. The first Justice League was shit because I could have kicked Steppenwolf's ass. He was really doughy in the first one. I will give him that point. He wasn't a threatening character, and that's what Jared means. So, but there you go. So that's it, guys. Chapter 2 breakdown. Thanks for watching. We move into Chapter 3 next week, which is super exciting, and we'll continue going along and breaking down each chapter in this epic film. And just to remind you guys as well, Friday nights we have our live after show of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Episode 3. First two episodes have been great. Oh yeah.
Loving it.
Fantastic. All right. So I'm looking forward to it. And Rick will have to maybe what we could do is organise for you to do with Jared a review of Godzilla versus Kong.
Would you be keen on that, Jared? Just leave us a comment down below if you want to come down. Jump on with us for a review.
If you've got a laptop, you've got a camera, we can make it happen.
Do it easy.
So there you go. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. And we will catch you guys next Monday, I believe, Rick, will be the
we'll catch
next
you on Friday,
episode of it.
And we'll see you next Monday. Done, guys. See you later.
We're still here.